So you want better results in your life. You want your outcomes to be different. Would you believe that there's only 3 things that you can control in your life to help you get the results that you want? And I'm willing to bet, having been a former athlete, you're struggling with those 3. In this video here, we're going to take on number 3. Hey, what's going on? It's Cletus, Coffey, the founder of Recovering Athlete Coaching and Training. And my friend, I'm so glad that you're here. You know, the reason I'm here is because in my transition to life after sports, after a good decade of struggling, just stuck and settling for less than I knew I was capable of. I knew I was meant for greatness. I just didn't know how to get it. I don't know where to turn, and no one else understood me. Once I got myself out of that hole, I decided that, you know, I can help serve other former athletes like you. So I'm glad that you're here. Now, as I mentioned, there are 3 key elements that you can control. In fact, they're the only 3 things that you can control. What are they? Number 1 is your attitude. Pretty self-explanatory, but wouldn't you believe it, that common sense isn't always common practice. Number 2 is effort. That's all you can control. You can't control anyone else, and we'll think back to your sporting days, not the officials, not your opponents, not the weather, not your coaches, not your teammates. You can control you and your effort that you put in. That's number 2. And lastly, number 3 is response. It's how you respond to situations. You can control those things, and how you respond often determines the result that you get, or the outcome. So if you have a particular outcome that you're looking for, how you respond is going to determine if you get what you want. Now, you're here because you want better results. I get it. I did as well. And I still want to get better results. And I know that if I focus on these 3 elements in my life, that I put myself in position to get the results that I'm looking for. Now, you and I cannot control the results. You can't control the scoreboard. You couldn't control it as an athlete. You cannot control it now as a former athlete. You cannot control the results. You control these 3 things to become the person capable of achieving the results that you want. Just want to make sure we're on the same page there. And I'll tell you, I didn't understand that coming in my transition to life after sports. It took me a lot of lumps to be clear on that. So I'm hoping that you haven't suffered a whole lot of lumps. It's part of the process. You can have some setbacks, but I want to help you shortcut it. And really, I understand there is no shortcuts, but I tell you, there's a lot of things that I wish I had known a decade plus ago that would have helped me accelerate my results. So that's what we're here to do, accelerate the results. Number 3, response. Understand this. You and I are emotional beings having a physical experience here on earth. So we're emotional beings, and if left to our devices, it's very easy for us to respond in a very emotional way. And you've seen this in sport. Maybe you're someone who, when things are high or things are really low or they don't go your way, you respond very emotionally. Maybe you have a coach or a parent in your life that you saw that, or maybe it was an opponent that you experienced being very emotional. And oftentimes those emotions can take us away from our goal and our focus and the results that we want. You can control that. And I've got a very simple tool to help you with that, to ensure that you can respond in the way that you want to respond, and respond in a way that ensures this. What people say about me is a reflection of them. Let me flip it on you. What people say about you is a reflection of how they view themselves. And so often we hear someone say something about us that we don't like, that hurt our feelings, and makes us mad, frustrates us, and we respond in a very emotional, attacking way, right? We're competitors. Like, how are you going to take me off my pedestal and you're going to try to break me down? I'm going to break you down. But I tell you what, that response like that isn't going to get you ultimately what you want. And you may not know in the moment what is it that I really want, but you probably have an idea of what the results are. Let me give you an example. So in sports, this happened all the time. A referee or an official made a bad call. The other team is playing dirty, or one of your teammates isn't giving their full effort. And it's just a knee-jerk reaction that we respond in, anger, yelling, frustration, and it comes out in toxic ways. You feel me? I know you've experienced this. If you've been an athlete at some point in your career, you've come across this, or you've done it yourself. I know, hey, we're human beings. So let's understand it. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to respond in challenging ways, that if we can understand, oh gosh, why did I respond in that way? Because what happens is when you respond with fire to someone else, they're going to be upset and probably respond back to you, or you're not going to get the results you're looking for. So for example, a referee, if you're berating, belittling, name calling a referee, it's probably a good chance that that referee isn't going to be willing to lean your way on a call that's kind of a 50-50, right? Your direction or the opponent's. Of course, because you've put yourself in a position to lose that jump ball there, where the referee makes a call that goes your way or not. So although you may be upset with that individual, it doesn't amount to anything. Please understand, without referees, without umpires, without officials, we just have a scrimmage. We need good officials, good umpires, good referees. Please, if you are still involved in sports, whether as a coach, as a parent, or maybe even as a player, go easy on those referees. We need them. But how you respond is really important now in life after sports. How you respond to a partner in your life, or intimate partner, or maybe a business partner, or maybe to your kids. How you respond is important, because oftentimes it's going to dictate the outcomes that you get, the results. You want love, you want connection, you want to share the, hey, that hurt my feelings, but instead we come out with fire. So, quick and easy, simple tool. It's called a self-control routine. You know routines. You've been an athlete. So you know what it's like to get in an exercise routine, maybe a weightlifting routine, maybe a practice routine, working on your drills, whatever, maybe study session, mental fitness. You know routines. So this shouldn't be completely out of the blue for you. You understand how to do this. It is a self-control routine. So what happens is, it's not a matter of going into your next situation. Maybe it's a conversation with your child, with your spouse, with a teammate at the office, whatever. It's not a matter of, is there going to be a potential mistake? Are my kids going to make a mistake? It's not a matter if, it's when. They're going to make mistakes. That's what they're supposed to do. It's not a matter of, if I'm going to have a disagreement with my partner. It's when. Those things are going to happen. So let's not be surprised by it. We often respond emotionally out of surprise. Like, how could you? How dare you respond to me or do that, excuse me, or make that mistake? It's just, it shouldn't be a surprise. So let's be prepared that in these interactions, in these situations in life, there's going to be things that you don't like, that are going to hurt you, that are going to upset you. So when those things arise, you need to deploy your self-control routine. Whatever that may be, it may be you stop and take 6 or 7 deep breaths to center yourself. It may be, we used to have, as a coach, we wear whistles or a lanyard around our neck. You give something, your t-shirt, or maybe a rubber band on your wrist, like 3 or 4, 5 snaps. You tug on that lanyard. You tug on something. Maybe if you wear rings, you can twist that ring 6 or 7 times. Like something physical that takes you out of that emotional space, centers you, so you can respond in a way to get the outcomes that you want. Are you with me on that? It is a self-control routine. Please practice it. It may seem elementary, but I'm telling you, it's really important. Practice it now, before you go back to the office, before you have your next disagreement with your spouse, before your kids do something that upsets you. Be prepared so you're not surprised by it, because like I mentioned in the very beginning, we are emotional beings, and if we are surprised by it, we're just going to fly off in an emotional way and create distrust, disconnection between those that we care about, we want to have relationships with. Self-control routine. Try it on. I would love to hear how it goes. Please shoot me a message on any social channel. I'm at Cletus Coffey. Or like and subscribe to this video here. Go ahead and leave a comment. What is your self-control routine? We can learn from one another. If you have one, please put it in the comment so I can learn. And for those of you others that are watching this video, they can learn what your self-control routine is. Hey, with that being said, gang, as former athletes, it's our opportunity to step into our authentic selves and make a greater impact in life than we ever did in sports.